All right, welcome to Local Business Unboxed. I'm John Almus, and today I'm joined by Laura Anastasi of Children's Orchard here in Amesbury. It's a thriving resale clothing and toy store that serves parents and caregivers, would you say up to ages 14 or so?
Up to age 14.
14. Yeah. And Laura saw a real need for high quality, affordable children's items and clothing and turned that into a successful business right here in town in Amesbury. So we'll talk about your journey coming from another town and how you overcame some big challenges and how you put your unique spin on social media selling. Not really just marketing, but also selling. And why she hopes retail is the future of kids' fashion. So welcome.
Thank you, John.
Yeah,
for having
welcome.
Me.
What inspired you to start Children's Orchard?
Okay, wow. I guess we were customers first of the Children's Orchard in Newburyport.
Oh, so it existed before you?
It sure
had
did.
it, okay.
Yeah. Actually, the Children's Orchard in Newburyport was the first one, and it had been, before we moved to Amesbury, it had been there 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it had that much history.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was pregnant with my first child in 2017, myself and my husband, found it and started shopping there and just fell in love with the concept, you know. We couldn't believe, it took us a while to realize that it was used items because the quality was so high. But then the whole concept just made so much sense,
Right.
you know. Quickly we realized how quickly children get through their clothing and toys, and the fact that you could bring back the items that they'd grown out of to sell and either get cash or store credit and then buy the next size up. It was just, I thought the concept was genius. So that intrigued me from a business perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2019, it came up for sale because the owner was moving. And so I thought,
Maybe it's time.
maybe it's
Was
time.
it just the Newburyport one?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the one store.
Yeah, so they're all individually owned and operated.
But there is more than
There
one.
are,
Okay.
I think there are 20 around the country now.
Okay.
But the Newburyport one was actually the original. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it is a franchise, but they're all individually owned and operated, and each one does things a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
So summer of 2019, I had a 1-year-old and a 6-month-old, and it was not a good time to buy a new business.
Right, yeah.
But we did it, just because I felt like that owner had owned it for 10 years, and I felt if we didn't buy it now, then the person who does buy it is going to be there for 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, this is
your
our chance,
yeah.
you know. So we did it, and we took over in September 2019 in Newburyport in a 1,600 square foot space.
Was it that, where in Newburyport was it?
In the Port Plaza.
Okay, yeah, by like Market Basket and all that stuff, yeah.
Next to the AAA. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, everything was going great. And then March 2020, literally 6 months later, we had the mandatory shutdown.
Yeah.
And that's when things got a little tricky.
Got interesting. We'll get into that in a second.
sure.
But what kind of makes it different than, I don't even know how many other resale children's stores there are, but are there a lot of those or others? And what makes it different than those?
So there's a few chains, shall we say, like bigger. There's Kid to Kid, Once Upon a Child. There's not so many of them around here. But they're kind of the other big players in the kids resale. There's some independently owned ones, like mom and pop stores. There isn't really one close to here. There's other children's orchards close to here. There's one in Rowley and one up in Portsmouth.
Okay.
What makes us different? I think the unique selling point for us as regards consignment is we pay you up front for your items. So you don't need to wait for your items to sell in order to get paid. So you want stuff out of your house, you bring it into us. We'll go through it. We'll pick out what we want, the high quality stuff, the very gently used. We only buy excellent used condition stuff. And we'll pay you cash or store credit. And people like that. They can leave with cash in their pocket, or they get 25% more if they take store credit, and then they can use that to buy the next size up for their growing child. And the immediacy of that is what appeals to people, you know? And then I think as well the quality sets us apart. We have a very high bar for condition, and we're lucky in that we have so many people that want to sell to us that we can keep that condition bar very high, because we're spoiled for choice, basically,
Right, yeah.
which is an excellent problem to have. And so the quality of everything on our floor is very high. Toys, equipment, books, and clothing are, 90% of our business is clothing, but we do have
Other stuff.
those other items as well. So I think people have just learned over the years to trust us. They trust the quality. They know that there's a certain standard that we have. And I think that's why they're comfortable buying things through social media as well, because even though they haven't seen it in person, they trust us enough to know that it's going to be good. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
not going to be a blemish somewhere. There's,
Yeah.
and obviously it is used stuff. Some of it will be in used condition, but none of it is trashy.
Right. Yeah. No, I know
You
what you mean.
know?
Like not, very worn or anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
So everything's going pretty well now. I mean, it's been, would you say 2017 you bought it? It's
2019 we
19.
bought,
Okay. So
yeah.
6 years.
Going on 6.
So yeah, so obviously COVID happened. Talk about the last few years during and after COVID, what you guys did to get, through it.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, so March 2017, mandatory shutdown. Stressful time, obviously. With the help of the franchise, we were able to get an online store up and running pretty quickly.
Okay. So you didn't have anything online before that?
No,
Okay.
we didn't. So within a few days of, I think it was St. Patrick's Day that we closed. Within a few days, we were up online.
Oh, wow.
And so online presents challenges because we have one of everything, right?
Right.
Every item
Inventory,
is
yeah.
unique. So in order to get a good collection of stuff in an online store, I have to take a lot of photographs, because I can't just take one photograph and say, okay, I have 10 of those in a medium, 10 of those in a small, 10 of those in a large.
One photo for everything. Yeah.
Literally have one, you
Yeah.
know. So that was a lot of work. So we were shut down. I wasn't allowed to have any staff there. So I would go in. I had my kids at home because daycare was closed.
Yeah.
2 kids under the age of 2.5, probably. Yeah. I would go in, bring home bins of clothes, and at night after the kids went to bed, I would head down to the basement and start photographing stuff, put them up online. And honestly, people were just amazing. Like our customers, I'm convinced they bought things that they didn't need because they just wanted to support us.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
They were so, they rallied behind us, because they wanted us to survive. And that whole time was just so, people show you who they are. I'm going to get emotional now. And I'll never forget those people who put in those orders during those really tough weeks,
Yeah. So I'm sure you were worried about having to, it be a failure or something or close or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what the future would hold. There's no money coming in. You panic, you know? But yeah, I would hand deliver those online orders. I had I think within a 15-mile radius, I would deliver, or we would ship outside of that. And that's how we got through. I mean, it was, it was a stressful time.
Yeah. So, but it kind of forced you and lots of businesses to get digital, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And you've carried that through?
Yes.
Like, how do you do your online store now? How do you use social media in the online?
Yeah, so there was no going back then, really, once that door was open, which was great. And, I see all of these things as a positive. Like, it proved so much to me in my own kind of ability to pivot and adapt to the situation. I look back on it and think oh my God, if we got through that, we can get through anything. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Nothing really daunts me now. So yeah, we were online. Honestly, the online store, we had it going for a long time, but we started then doing social media selling through Instagram stories, through Instagram lives, and a lot through Reels. And we found that we got more traction through there because it was more of an immediate hit for people, you know. Your online store, it kind of sits there stagnant.
And you have to
it's
look
in the
for it.
background. Yeah, you have to intentionally go search for it. But on Instagram, things are popping up in front of people all the
They're
time.
there anyway, yeah.
They're there anyway. The algorithm is putting stuff in front of them, whether they like it or not, you know. So we quickly realized that that was where our energy was best used. Like from a labor perspective, do I spend labor hours photographing stuff for my online store that could sit there for months, or do we do quick hits on Instagram that turns really quickly?
How does the process work? So do you use any like e-commerce tools, or do you kind of just go live? I've seen a few lives pop up. But
Okay.
like, talk to me about the logistics of how you do it.
Yeah, sure. So the lives, we, myself and Megan, who works for us, we literally go live, and it'll either be a set age span beforehand. So like on Tuesday night just gone, we did girl 18 month through 5T. Okay. So we advertised beforehand, this is what we're doing. So those parents knew, okay, I'll tune in because they're the sizes I want, right? And that worked really well. Sometimes we'll just go live and we'll take comments during the live on what people want to see. So if there's a bunch of people on there want 18-month boy, we'll walk over to the 18-month boy section and we'll shop that
And
section.
with the phone, just kind of shopping.
Yeah, so one of us will hold the camera, one of us will be in front, and we're literally just taking things off the rack and showing them, talking about them, describing the fabric. And yeah, we've started doing. So that used to be the format. What we've started doing in the past couple of months is a more curated selection of stuff. So we'll kind of walk the floor a few hours before the live and pull the really good items in those sizes into our back room, and we'll show those items. So instead of going through absolutely everything that we have in store, and if you've ever been in, it's a lot of inventory. So we kind of just hand select like the best of each size and then show that during the live. So on Tuesday night, we usually go live for 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a marathon, and we're always exhausted at the end, but it's great. And the people who join us, like, they're just so supportive. It's a little community in and of itself. They talk amongst each other in the comments, and it's all very friendly. And so they basically just, if I hold up an item that you want, you comment sold blue PJs 18 month or whatever, that becomes yours. So we put a number on it and put it to one side, and I'm kind of keeping track on the side of everybody's numbers that they've purchased. And then at the end of the night, after the live, we divvy up everything into baskets for each person. We usually have about 20 to 30 people buying during the live. So at the end, we'll have like 30 baskets.
3 hours well spent then.
Exactly, yeah, with their Instagram names on each basket. Then the next day I send them their total and they pay us using Venmo.
Okay, and they come in and get it?
Come in and get it. So once you've paid, you can come in at your convenience and pick it up. You can come into the store the next day to pick it up, to pay if you don't have Venmo.
Right.
But yeah, once it's paid for, it's yours. We package it up, leave it on a shelf, and you pick it up whenever. And
so it sounds like there's definitely a community, like you said, that is active. Do you have like any groups or anything on social media, or just your page?
Just the page.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's an untapped resource too, is to do something with the community. I don't know, some kind of Facebook group.
Yeah.
If it's, I don't know. This came to mind.
Look into that.
Yeah. But obviously community plays a big part. Talk about the store experience. You moved from Newburyport to a bigger place in Amesbury.
Yeah.
What did that allow you to do, and how's the Amesbury like atmosphere?
Yeah. So like I said, we were in a 1,600 square foot space in Newburyport, and I could just feel that there was a hunger there for what we were doing. And in that space, we were never really going to be able to fully satiate that hunger, you know?
Right.
So I always knew we would move to a bigger space. So when we moved, in summer of 2022, we moved from 1,600 square feet to 5,000 square feet in Amesbury.
Oh, wow.
So it was a big leap. It was a risk,
It's like almost 4 times the space, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's paying off. I mean, the Amesbury, where we're located, we're right between 495 and 95. So it's massively convenient for people, whether you're, Haverhill, Newburyport, Southern New Hampshire. We're off one of the major highways,
Right.
And the space in and of itself is just, we were able to build it out from, it was literally just walls and floor. So we built it to our specifications. And it was really important to create a modern retail experience. We didn't want people walking in there and thinking they were walking into a thrift store,
Right.
We're trying to elevate the resale experience, and it's got high ceilings and wide aisles, and there's a little library area for the kids, and you can hang out. Like if you can really, there's a lot of inventory, like I said, so it takes time to shop in there, but people do hang out for a while.
And so you can bring your kids in there. Yeah.
Bring your kids, sit them up in the library, with a book or whatever, or a toy. And we actually just created a new toy room in the back as well. Again, the demand is there for resale toys. So we felt like we didn't have enough space devoted to toys, so we've converted an entire room now into a toy room, and that's going really well. But yeah, so back to your question about the Amesbury community, like they've just embraced us. We're very active in the Amesbury Chamber of Commerce as well, and like what an amazing business community that is. You know,
right? Yeah.
So supportive, so helpful, and we just instantly felt like we had done the right thing. I live in Amesbury, so I wanted my business to be in the town that I lived in. The people who shop there, their kids are in my kids' class, and I'm seeing them on the soccer field, and it's personal. It's important to me to be central to the community and important, and that kind of raises the standards for what we do too, because I want, it's important to me that we have a good product and a good service, and that people value what we do.
Yeah, it sounds like they must. I mean, they keep coming back, and you have those good numbers online. You've kind of blended the digital and brick and mortar, kind of to do a little bit of both. I think the brick and mortar experience and reputation probably helps the social media selling that you do. What are some things so you mentioned that like the online store isn't worth the time to inventory everything, but are there any other things on social media that you've done and don't work as well? Or it sounds like you put most of your effort to those lives. Is there anything that you'd like to do that if you had more time or budget or whatever?
Yeah, for sure. So definitely Instagram stories is a huge thing too. So the lives obviously it's a big lift. It's 3 hours at a time, right? So it's a commitment, and we do that at night after the store is closed. But stories you can have running all the time. So because our inventory is ever changing, our staff is very good at honing in on those items when they see them coming through to be tagged. Oh, this is something people will want, and they'll want to see it now.
Okay.
So we're constantly kind of setting things aside for Instagram stories, and we'll just photograph it. We'll put it up there with the brand, the size, the price, and sometimes within seconds it's gone. So someone will just
you sell
DM us
without going live too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's like
again,
story updates of products, and then DM, and it's sold.
DM, yeah. Is this, DM, is this still available? If it is, it's yours. And again, people use Venmo to pay us and pick up at their convenience.
I don't know if I've really seen a lot of other brick and mortar stores do that. Granted, you're kind of unique in what you offer, and it probably works really well for moms who have kids or parents who have kids and can't go out.
It kind of creates, I think the fact that we have only one of everything, there's an urgency there too. Like if you see something amazing that you've been shopping around, you've seen how expensive it is new, and then you see it pop up on our stories for like less than half of what it is new, you're going to jump on it right away.
And still good quality.
Good quality, because you trust us, you know us, and you know our bar for quality. So you're buying it sight unseen because we have already built that relationship with you, and the trust is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's the immediacy of it, and literally like 10 people will message us for the same product, and we're like, sorry, it's gone. It's sold within 6 seconds of us putting it up there. It's unreal sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any other kinds of content that you have tried or think about trying? Like, do you do any kind of non-selling posts or?
Yeah, we do a lot of brand awareness stuff, and then anything that's going on in the community. Like right now we have a diaper drive going on. We're collecting diapers for community action in Amesbury.
Okay.
So we'll post about things like that. And then just, if we have, spring, summer is going to the floor, or, the generic kind
Updates
of
and stuff like that.
updates,
Yeah.
exactly. We do a lot of reels as well. So we'll do little videos of just like dress after dress after dress, kind of just giving people a little taste of what's coming in through the door, just to stay in
Mix it
people's
up.
minds
Yeah.
and mix it up. Exactly. Yeah.
Is it just Instagram that you do anything on Facebook, or is kind of those usually are in tandem, or is it?
Yeah, they're in tandem,
Okay.
exactly. So anything that goes to Instagram also gets copied over to Facebook, but much, much less interaction goes on Facebook.
Yeah.
Our main customers are more active on Instagram. That's where we see
I
most
think
of
that's
the
the
action.
case, yeah, for a lot of businesses around here, especially if you're reaching like people under 40 or 45-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you tried paid ads or any other insights?
Yeah, so we did, when we first started, we did the whole Google ads, Facebook ads, all that stuff. I know it's important, but I didn't see the benefit.
Yeah, it depends on the
And-
business too. For some, I mean, you probably get the best return on those lives, and they just cost
Yeah.
time, really. But
Exactly. I think for us, it's the organic content that really pays off because the product is ever changing. Every day, the floor looks different. Like we put out new product all day, every day. There is literally people tagging and hanging all day, every day. We buy about 1,500 items a week. So that is that's a lot of new stuff going out there. The kind of the stagnant ads, I don't see the payoff.
and probably, I would imagine that if someone's searching for children's clothes, there aren't a ton of competitors for you on like a local search, right? So you probably show up.
We're coming up anyhow.
Yeah, so ads
Yeah.
probably wouldn't, fit
Yeah.
what you're doing, really.
Yeah, and
Right now.
word of mouth is huge for us
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of stuff going on, but I mean, it sounds like the marketing really works well the way you're doing it. So let's switch gears a little bit. What do you think the store will look like in 5 years? Are there trends that you guys have to follow? Talk about that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Trends as regards, it's another thing that we try to stay very current with. Like we will only buy things that have been made in the last 3 to 5 years, right? So you're not going to come into our store and find vintage items, right? There's other stores for that. And children's clothing is a little bit unique in that style and trends don't change massively,
Right.
but you'd also be surprised, especially in the tween ages.
Yeah, the
when
older you get.
up to
Yeah.
10, 14, that kind of age, kids get a little bit more opinionated and a little bit more influenced by what their peers are wearing or whatever. So we do have a trend guide that we follow, which changes seasonally, and our buyers are familiar with, high top sneakers are in this spring. Let's keep that in mind when we're buying,
Right.
But in the younger sizes, things don't change that much. But you'd be amazed on like subtle things like color palettes. Like back in the probably 10, 15 years ago, greens and browns were very in, like lime green. Now it's more pastel type colors, like just a little bit more neutral vibes now. So all of that we keep up with, and our buyers are constantly on that stuff in the background.
When you say now, is that like this year or this season, or just like?
Probably since we moved to Amesbury.
Okay,
That
yeah.
has become more
So trends
of
last
a
a little,
focus.
pretty long.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, year on year, certain things carry over. For us, it's more about the quality and condition. Obviously, it has to be in style, as we say. So, like, it can also be great quality and dated, and we
Right.
won't buy it if
Yeah.
it's dated. Because there's a finite amount of space on our floor, and we have to fill it with what people are looking for right now. So, and as buyers, it's important that we're constantly, like, inventory management is a huge part of what we do, right? Because we have to constantly make sure that each size and each category in each size. So let's say size 6 girl has enough shorts, skirts, dresses,
Oh, yeah.
pants, tank tops, short sleeve, long sleeves, all on the floor, all at the same time.
So you have options for
So you
whoever
have
might come
options
in,
for
yeah.
outfits, exactly.
Yeah.
But then if 6 people come in that day shopping size 6 girl, then you might at the end of the day be left thinking it's looking a little bare, you know.
Right.
So we have to constantly in the background be planning for that,
And then when you
and
buy,
have more
yeah.
coming in behind it to replenish. So when we buy, we're very specific with our list of what we're buying. We buy in rounds. We release appointments every 3 weeks,
Okay.
and we have a list for those 3 weeks of what we're buying. So at the end of the 3-week round, we'll assess, okay, where's our inventory levels at right now? What do we need? And we'll put out that list to people. This is what we're buying for the next 3 weeks. Only bring us that.
Do you do that through social media or email, or how do you?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everyone on our list gets an email. We put it on social media. We also have an app as well. So we'll send people an in-app
Alerts.
notification.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an ever-changing animal, you know, that we
Right.
have to constantly make adjustments to. And
Are there other greater picture things you changed? Like you mentioned, you added a new space. Do you have any ideas or things that you want to accomplish with the space or your services?
yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think the tween ages are probably underserviced in general in resale. Like we do up to size 14, but people are always so sad when their kid outgrows our store, you know. And it's like, I think that if I was going to do something next, that would probably be
Expanding
it.
the ages.
Exactly.
Okay.
So another, maybe not expanding within our store, but offering another option for those ages where the kid themselves is shopping rather than the parent. You know,
Got
I think that's underserviced in resale. You know, they can go to the mall and pay an absolute
more.
fortune
Yeah,
for their
yeah, yeah.
clothes. But parents' hearts break a little bit when they have to. They'll be like they're dropping off their last bin, like I can't shop here anymore. She's too big, and so it'd be nice to have something else to offer that age group.
Right. Why do you stop where you stop? Just because inventory or?
It's just space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that the youth we consider youth to be age or size 6 through size 14. It's probably like our main thing that we sell is toddler. So the people who are really going through their clothes are the toddlers. Let's
Right.
be honest.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are
Growing fast and
they're
all that.
growing
Yeah.
fast. They're, you know, they're playing hard. They're not clean when they eat, and so they're getting through a lot of stuff. You know,
Right.
so that's where most of our sales are, in that toddler area. So that's kind of what we focus on most. But the it's not that the youth is not shopped or not needed. It definitely is. But as the kids get older, like I said, they get a little more opinionated
Picky
too.
and so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. When you say another option, is that like another store that you would own?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
Even
see.
5 years.
Yeah,
you know?
things happen fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there, you mentioned before that there might be like a stigma for used. How do you see that a lot? Do you get feedback from people? Wow, I thought this would be, worse quality than it is, or?
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't exactly put it like that, but you can tell from people when they walk in, there's that bit of a wow factor when people walk in. First of all, when they realize how big the store is, because from the street, you don't realize how far back it goes.
Yeah.
When you walk in that front door and you see 5,000 square feet in front of you, it's, if it's your first time in, you're kind of like, oh, okay, not what I was expecting. So we get that a lot. And also the feel of the store, like it's a very modern retail kind of a feel. And people are always very complimentary about the quality. And when they come up to check out, like, they're complimentary about how well laid out it is, how organized it is. We work very hard at keeping it organized. And if you go to your size and you're looking for shorts, there's the sign for shorts. They're right there. Nothing is messy. My brain doesn't deal well with clutter or
Yeah.
mess or disorganization. So everything has its place and is in its place,
Yeah, it makes it easy. Yeah.
People appreciate that.
What are your hours? That was another thing I was going to
Yeah, sure. So Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 5:30, and Sunday 10 to 4.
Okay.
7 days
Nice.
a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you need some clothes, I would definitely check out the Children's Orchard in Amesbury first. Where can people find you? So you obviously have a website and Instagram are probably the top two spots. Tell me where people can find you.
Our physical store is at 58 Macy Street in Amesbury. We are on Instagram at Children's Orchard Amesbury. Facebook also. And then our website is amesburyma.children'sorchard.com, I think, off the top of my head.
That's what I have in my notes.
Okay,
yeah, and we'll
great.
put it in the show notes too. So definitely, reach out if you're in the area, in the market, I should say. Do you ship?
We do.
So like someone from Texas could.
Oh,
shop your
100%.
store.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and a lot of people during the lives will do that. So we ship anywhere in the US for a flat rate of $8.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Even if you buy like
700
boatload?
things.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Within reason.
Within reason. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks for listening to another episode. I'm glad you could make it in.
Thank you for having me, John. It's great.
It's always great to meet other business owners. Although we did something in the studio before, it was a little different, but it was good to get a sit-down conversation with you on a podcast. So definitely tune in. We'll be on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube for the video. And check the show notes, like I said, for your information. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, John.